Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. What I have in front of me today is a Radio Shack Color Computer 2. And this actually was not something that I picked up, but I actually got this from my wife's parents, who said that this was their computer when she was little. I'm not clear whether she actually ever used it, because she may have been too small to use it at the time, but anyway, that was their family computer. It has a leg missing, that's why it's wobbling. It also came with a color computer microcomputer systems guide, which is kind of cool. It has TRS-80 color basic and extended color, TRS-80 color basic and extended color basic. Graphics characters, yeah, so this is sort of, I think I've shown this on my channel before, but for the Timex Incline 1000 ZX81, I have one of these as well. But this comes in handy. Yeah. I don't have anything else, I just have that. The thing is, it does come with a built-in power supply. So, can you see it? Yep. I'm not sure if I'm... it's kind of a big machine, so I'm not fully in frame here. I guess I can move it here. Yeah, so in the back it comes with a power supply. It's a little bent, but two-pronged. So I don't feel comfortable at the moment opening it up. So, I mean, plugging it in without opening it up. So I think what I'm going to do is open it up, and I looked at the bottom of it, and let's turn it over, and you will see right here that this has not been opened. So this is definitely, yeah, so let's turn it over. So this is the leg that's missing, by the way. But yeah, so this has not been opened, but unfortunately I don't want to, because it's a built-in power supply, I don't actually want to boot this up until I've had a chance to open it. It seems like it has, I'm just going to take all screws out. I've never taken one apart. So let's do that. Let's take it apart. And if I have to fast forward over this, I will. Oh yeah, okay. I think I should open it. There is a keyboard. The keyboard comes up. I'm going to turn this around because I think I can open it that way. I don't want to break anything. So, there we go. And this should pop off now. There you go. I'll put that on the ground. And, oh yeah, there it is. Here's the keyboard. How does the keyboard come out? It's a ribbon. I'm not going to take that out yet. It's another screw. They all look the same in size. Yep. These are the ones in the back. They're massive screws, and then there's one more screw. Oh, that's probably being held in by the sticker. Okay. So here's the Coco 2. Oh, I wonder if I don't know, I didn't bend it, but so it's never been opened, but it looks like this is all bent. So there's the power supply. And well, there's a fuse. It's just a transformer, that's it. there isn't much going on here. So I guess I can check to see if the windings are shorted. Let's see if I can make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's take the rubber band off. So continuity, this is an old meter, this doesn't beep, but I know how to use it and read it. Oh look, there was a gold star. Perhaps children were using that. Yeah, so when there's continuity, you get that. Of course, well, that should be, so that makes sense. But the fact that this and this, oh, that's interesting. So I guess the windings would cause it to, yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't know as much about this stuff as others, but I guess on this side, again, you have the windings. Yep, don't know. There's a big capacitor. Wow, this is really dusty. Yep, just I forget what that is. Don't know. There's the on-off switch. Nothing looks exploded on this. Let me take a closer look on this side. So you've got some really old chips. Looks like 25th week of 19. Well, it says 1982 on here. Tandy Corporation, but then it says 8425. 8436. Some sort of heat shield that's to the RF modulator. None of these caps look bad. There's no corrosion on the board. It's just very dusty. So we've got a Motorola chip here. 32nd week of 1984. This is MC6847P, MC6822P. Yeah, this is very dusty. I don't want to damage the ribbon cable. Looks in good shape. I mean, this was never open, so it's just curious that this is all bent out of shape. This is a capacitor or a trend bar. Let's see. I mean, shouldn't this be? Oh, careful. Yeah, it does move. Just straightening it out. That's all. It's not hitting anything. It's just odd that it was bent. Somebody in the factory must, since it's never been opened, somebody in the factory must have just been kind of rough with it. Suppose it doesn't matter. It's dissipating heat nonetheless, but, you know, when in Rome. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty thick metal. I don't think it's going to break. But, wow. It's definitely dusty. It doesn't really have too much in terms of, it has one big capacitor and then it has a couple of 4 smaller ones. But from this era, you know, I kind of follow Adrian Black's advice, and he says that, you know, the caps don't look bad, don't change them. I don't see any leakage. it's hard to see with all this dust on there, but I kind of want to just blow this all out to see if keyboard's on there. The fuse is not blown. Well, it's very crusty or dirty, sticky. So what I think I'm going to do is clean this up with maybe just an old toothbrush to brush off the dirt, and then yeah, see if I can't boot this up for the first time to see what it does. So it's my first Coco 2. It's my first color computer, 1, 2, or 3. I've shown my TRS-80 Model 3 on the channel before, and yeah, the only thing that's doing this is because there's a foot missing. But yeah, the power supply is rather simple. So does that mean this is running on AC? So who's converting it to DC? Is that what this is doing? Again, I just don't know the terminal. I mean, I just don't know how power supplies work. It just has a transformer. That's all it has in here. It's getting AC and then turning it into AC since there's nothing else. And then I assume this has something to do with power. But there's not much. I mean, obviously these things don't work on AC, so this has got to be doing something with regard to converting it to DC. But yeah, I don't really understand. Here's a capacitor, but usually you need some sort of what do they call them, rectifiers, to turn it into a DC voltage. So I don't even know what to look for that. But yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be doing too much with this. I don't even know what is this. I'm just checking. I'm going to clean it, and then I'm going to plug it in, see if it works. I'll leave the cover off. Hopefully it won't smoke, but there isn't really anything. These all look good. These all look good. Ceramic caps don't tend to fail. And then these are just chips. There's nothing shorted. There's no corrosion. There's spots of dirt. So yeah, I don't, other than the missing leg, this might actually be a working computer. I just expected this to be sort of filled with capacitors and transistors, etc. Things that would turn an AC signal to a DC signal, but all I have is one big capacitor, and then, I mean, one big it escapes me now. A transformer, and then a big capacitor, and then this, which I think is a transistor. But yeah, very simple. So I wonder what its voltage is. So I'm going to clean this off a little bit and come back once it's clean. I'm not going to do it in front of camera. And then and give it one more close look with some magnifying glass. And if I don't find anything, I'm going to come back and set this up to turn this on for the first time. All right. So I've cleaned it up, toothbrush, and a little bit of air, and checked it out. And I looked at all of the various capacitors, and the few places where I could see the solder joints, they were all very shiny. So I don't think any of them have leaked. None of them have leaked. And so I've hooked this up. Power. This is a switch that's an off. I flip it to on, and then. So I have this TV box, this little Archer. It's on game right now, which means it's going to go into my aerial. So let's give it a try and see what happens. Hopefully nothing bad. So let me turn this on first. So I'm assuming that's going through the transformer. So then we just turn it on and see what happened. Okay, we got a picture. Oh. Well, that's not, I'll just use this to turn it off. Boom. One more time. That doesn't seem good. I don't know where that's supposed to be doing. So there's some relay that I keep hearing. I think that's what this is. But it's not coming up with regard to again, I can also turn this off. So it's not coming up. Let me do one more. I'll turn this on now. Yep, so not working. What I can do, what does this do? Oh, I see. That resets it. Wait, did that do the trick? No, it's not coming up with basic. Let's try it again. No, it's still again. Wow, it looks like a game. I'm assuming this is just, maybe it's bad RAM. Maybe that's the reset switch. Let me see what the case says on the back of it. Reset, yep. But let me turn this off. So one thing I can give it a try is let's unplug this. So one thing I give a try is I can try to reseat some of the socketed chips, because they do, but there are some of them that are socketed. So we have these two, and then there's two behind there, and there's one more there. So and there's one there. So what I can try to do is reseat them, because sometimes I know that on my QL that's happened before. So let me. I'm gonna have to get a tool to do that. But let me do that really quick, and then I'll come back and give it one more try and see if that's what's causing the problem. All right. Okay, so I reseated all the chips. The only one I had trouble was this one, because I didn't want to take this apart. So I just kind of lifted it up on both sides and pushed it back in. But all of these I've reseated. This one was hard to get in and out, but most of these came out pretty easily. And the sockets are really good. They're actually solid all the way through, so you can't ever scratch the circuit board. So the technique I use is I use a thin screwdriver to pry sort of into the edge, and then I keep trying to get a bit more, and then eventually I try to get this in there, and tongue depressor, or I guess it's really a ice cream popsicle stick. So I don't damage anything on the board, but so I tried to do that. Nothing looked corroded, so I don't think this is going to have an impact, but all right, let's give it another try. Here we go. Yeah. I'm assuming it might be bad memory. And I don't know, are these the memory chips? Usually memory isn't sort of these multi-pins, it's usually this size. So I don't know how much memory it's supposed to have, or is it soldered on the board? I mean, there are some chips that you can't take off on the board. So yeah, I don't know, but there's definitely a fault with my GoCo 2, and now it seems to be consistent. I took the keyboard off, as you can see. It wasn't too hard. It's actually a pretty good ribbon cable, but I figured if I'm gonna have to work on this, the cable's okay. I might as well take the keyboard off and give myself more room. Eventually I'll have to take the circuit board out as well to do some testing, but I just wanted to preliminarily just see if it would just run, and wow, that's not good at all. So it's just taking, yeah. That's the picture also seems to be shifted in this direction, but I don't know, I don't want to get electrocuted, so I'm being careful here. and then the reset button. It's getting more interesting. Now back to the almost all green. Here it goes. But it's not going to come up with the basic prompt. So could it be bad ROM? Is it bad RAM? It seems to be doing something, so maybe not the processor. So if anyone that has sort of Coco Color Computer 2 experience, I'd love to hear your take on what potentially is going wrong with my computer, my new computer. I'll have to figure out a way to fix it. It seems relatively simple in terms of, well, unfortunately not, because it seems to have a lot of integrated circuits, so that could be problematic. But a lot of them are socketed, so maybe I can find replacements. But first I need to figure out what it is. So let me know. I'm going to end here since there's not much else I can do. It's not... interesting. This one's getting really... well, this is warm. It's not burning my hand, but it is the warmest. These are ice cold. These are warm. Yeah, these are... no, these are ice cold. This is warm. So maybe this is memory. Could this be the memory? This is starting to look more like memory chips. Again, and maybe this is the ROM. And if this is the same type of memory I have here, maybe I can experiment with that as well by doing the old piggyback. But for now, I'm just going to do a little bit more investigating on what this is. And also maybe get help from my viewers, anyone that knows Coco Color Computer 2, and tell me what these symptoms are, and also I'll obviously read up about it as well. So I'm going to end here. Again, thanks for joining me for this trip down memory lane to my wife's childhood. I do love getting computers that I actually have a connection with. But yeah, I'll see you next time.